an imaginative young boy with a mop of messy brown hair and bright blue eyes, sits in his bedroom, surrounded by books, star charts, and a small collection of toy rockets. Late at night, when everyone else is asleep, Max gazes out of his window at the vast, starry sky, dreaming of faraway worlds and endless adventures. Suddenly, he notices a soft glow on his windowsill. Curious, Max leans closer and sees a small, mysterious box shimmering with a faint golden light. He cautiously lifts the lid, revealing an intricately designed telescope polished bronze, with tiny stars carved into its surface, and a lens that sparkles like a gemstone. As Max holds the telescope up to his eye, the stars outside his window seem to swirl and dance. The lens expands and contracts as if alive, the constellations shifting into strange, new shapes. Max gasps as the telescope begins to hum softly, filling the room with a magical, tinkling sound. Before he can pull away, a bright, swirling portal opens up at the end of the telescope, and with a flash of light, Max is whisked away from his room, tumbling through a tunnel of stars, colors, and glowing planets, leaving his cozy bedroom far behind. Max lands softly back in his room, but something feels different. He looks around and realizes the room has changed. Books and toys hover gently in the air, as if gravity itself has shifted. He rushes to the window and gasps. The night sky is now filled with swirling colors, planets spinning slowly in the distance, and comets streaking past. He excitedly picks up the telescope and peers through it again. To his amazement, he sees not just the stars, but entire worlds, floating islands, colorful creatures, and swirling nebulas. Each time he adjusts the lens, a new world appears, each more fantastical than the last. The telescope vibrates gently in his hands, and before Max can react, the lens zooms in on a small, twinkling star. The star grows larger and larger until it fills his vision. Suddenly, the telescope extends outward, glowing brightly, and a swirling portal opens up in the middle of his room. With a mixture of excitement and nervousness, Max steps forward and feels himself being pulled into the portal. He squeezes his eyes shut as he's whisked away again, spinning through space until he's dropped gently onto the first world beyond the telescope. Max opens his eyes and finds himself standing on a small, floating island suspended high above a sea of colorful clouds. Around him, dozens of other islands hover in midair, each connected by shimmering rainbow bridges. The sky above is filled with stars, and the air hums softly with the sound of magic. As he looks around in awe, a small, bouncy creature with springy legs and large eyes hops onto the island. "Welcome to the world of floating islands," it chirps, bouncing happily. "I'm Skippy, the island hopper. Need a guide?" Max smiles, realizing he's going to need help navigating the strange, beautiful place. Skippy explains that the islands are connected by rainbow bridges, but the mischievous cloud goblins love to hide the bridges and trap travelers. If you're looking for the portal back home, you'll need to find the rainbow gate at the far end of the sky path, Skippy says, his eyes twinkling. Max nods determinedly and follows Skippy as they hop from island to island, jumping over swirling clouds and narrow gaps. The islands bob gently beneath his feet, and each step feels like walking on air. But with every hop, they're being watched by shadowy figures hiding among the clouds. The cloud goblins are close behind. After a series of tricky jumps and narrow escapes, Max and Skippy reach a giant, glowing archway made of shimmering rainbow crystals. "This is the Rainbow Gate," Skippy whispers. "But it's locked. Only solving the puzzle will open it." Max steps forward and sees a glowing riddle written on the gate. "Align the colors in perfect harmony, or face the clouded storm's fury." Below the riddle, 7 crystal switches glow in the colors of the rainbow, each linked to a different part of the gate. As Max begins to adjust the colors, the sky darkens, and the air grows colder. From the corner of his eye, he sees the cloud goblins swirling in the sky, their tiny, dark forms darting closer. "Hurry, Max," Skippy cries, bouncing nervously. Max carefully matches the colors, aligning red, orange, yellow, and the rest in the right sequence. With a final click, the gate bursts into light, and a brilliant rainbow path extends beyond. The cloud goblins shriek in frustration, scattering as Max and Skippy dash through the gate into the next world. Max and Skippy step through the gate and find themselves in a serene, glowing meadow under a crescent moon. The meadow is filled with silver flowers that sway gently, their petals shimmering softly in the moonlight. Everything glows faintly blue and silver, giving the place an otherworldly beauty. A tiny, glowing firefly flits up to Max, her body radiating a soft, golden light. "I'm Luma, the moonlight firefly," she says in a sweet, tinkling voice. "To leave this meadow, you must collect 3 stardust petals without waking the moon cats." Max looks around and sees enormous, fluffy cats curled up among the flowers, their fur glowing faintly. Each cat's tail flicks gently as it sleeps, and their purring hums softly through the air. "One wrong step, and they'll wake up," Luma warns, flitting nervously. Max takes a deep breath and steps forward carefully, guided by Luma's light. With each step, the flowers sway softly, and the cats shift in their sleep. Slowly, Max picks 1, then 2, and finally 3 glowing petals, holding his breath each time. Just as the last cat's ear twitches, Max and Skippy slip quietly out of the meadow. Deep in the moonlight meadow, Max carefully tiptoes through the glowing flowers, his heart pounding as the giant moon cats stir. Their eyes glow faintly even as they sleep, and their enormous paws twitch every time a flower petal is disturbed. Luma flits nervously around Max's head. "If just one cat wakes up, they'll start playing the moon game, and you'll be stuck in the meadow until you win," she whispers. Max takes another careful step, holding his breath as the flowers sway. Suddenly, Skippy sneezes loudly, and the nearest moon cat's eyes snap open, glowing brightly. "Too late," Luma cries. The other cats awaken, their eyes gleaming mischievously. They stretch and purr, then begin to circle Max, their movements smooth and graceful. "Play with us," the moon cats chant softly. With a deep breath, Max agrees to play their game of riddle challenge. He must answer 3 tricky questions, each more difficult than the last. With Luma's help, Max solves the riddles, and the moon cats, satisfied, allow him to continue his journey. Max and Skippy step out of the moonlight meadow and find themselves standing beside a glittering river made entirely of liquid stars. The river flows gently, casting shimmering reflections on the rocky banks. Each ripple in the water glows brightly, and the air is filled with the soft sound of twinkling. As they watch, a small, glowing water sprite rises gracefully from the center of the river. "Welcome to the Star Stream River," she sings, her voice like a melody. "I'm Ripple, guardian of the stream. To cross safely, you must follow the path of starlight before the current changes." Ripple shows Max the way across, pointing to a series of glowing rocks that create a path over the river. But the path shifts and changes with the current, each rock flickering in and out of existence as the water swirls around them. "You'll have to be quick and brave," Ripple warns. With Skippy bouncing nervously beside him, Max carefully steps onto the first glowing rock. As the rocks light up one by one, he follows Ripple's guidance, hopping from stone to stone just as the star current begins to swirl more violently. With a final leap, they reach the other side, safe and dry. As soon as Max and Skippy step off the riverbank, they find themselves facing a shimmering bridge made entirely of starfish, each one glowing softly in a different color. The starfish shift and wriggle underfoot, rearranging themselves in swirling patterns as Max steps closer. Ripple appears beside them again. "The starfish bridge is alive," she whispers. "It only lets those who solve its puzzle cross safely. Step in the wrong pattern, and the bridge will disappear, dropping you into the star stream below." Max watches closely as the starfish light up in a sequence of colors: red, blue, yellow, green over and over. "I need to remember the sequence," he murmurs, stepping carefully onto the first red starfish. Each correct step makes the bridge light up brighter, but a single wrong move sends a ripple of warning across the entire structure. Slowly and methodically, Max steps in the right order: red, blue, yellow, green. The bridge glows brilliantly as he reaches the last starfish, and with a final step, the entire bridge shimmers and solidifies, allowing him and Skippy to cross safely to the other side. Max blinks as he steps onto a soft, springy surface. He's landed on a planet where everything from the ground to the trees to the clouds and the sky seems to be made of bouncy stars. He bounces lightly with every step, feeling as if he's walking on a giant trampoline. Skippy giggles, bouncing high into the air. "This is the planet of bouncing stars," he exclaims, springing higher and higher. Suddenly, a small, star-shaped creature with bright eyes and a mischievous grin bounces up beside them. "I'm Boeing, the bouncing star champion. Want to race?" Max hesitates, then nods eagerly. Boeing explains the rules. They must bounce from star to star, avoiding the tricky anti-gravity zones that can send them flying into space. Max takes a deep breath, and the race begins. Boeing bounces ahead, his movements quick and agile. With Skippy cheering him on, Max springs from star to star, dodging the strange gravity zones that twist and warp around him. Each bounce sends him higher, the stars beneath him glowing brightly. With a final leap, Max lands just ahead of Boeing, his heart racing. "Great job!" Boeing laughs. "You're a natural star bouncer." Max and Skippy bounce through a sparkling archway and land in a dark forest filled with glowing constellations floating high above the treetops. Each constellation shifts and changes, forming shapes of animals: lions, birds, and dragons that light up the forest with their soft glow. As Max watches, the constellations rearrange themselves, forming a giant, glowing fox that looks down at him with twinkling eyes. "To pass through the constellation forest, you must solve our riddles," the fox says, its starry form shimmering. "Each riddle you solve will show you the safe path forward." The first constellation, an owl made of stars, flashes brightly and asks its riddle: "I am not alive, yet I can grow. I don't have eyes, yet I can glow. What am I?" Max thinks hard, then smiles. "A star," he exclaims. The owl flaps its wings, and a path of glowing stars lights up, leading them deeper into the forest. Max solves each riddle in turn: the owl, the bear, and the fox, each time revealing a new path. With each correct answer, the constellations above swirl and shift, guiding him safely through the forest. Finally, the fox nods approvingly, its starry form glowing brightly. "You may pass, clever traveler," it murmurs, and the final path opens up before Max. Max steps out of the forest and finds himself standing at the edge of a massive, swirling pool shaped like a galaxy. The water spirals in glowing currents, twisting and turning like a giant whirlpool. Stars shimmer in the depths, and the whole pool seems to pulse with a powerful energy. A large, ancient turtle with a shell that glows like the night sky swims up to the edge. "I am Orbit, the guardian of the whirlpool galaxy pool," he rumbles. "To cross safely, you must calm the swirling waters, but beware, the currents are strong and change quickly." Max kneels beside the pool, thinking hard. He notices small, glowing pebbles scattered along the shore. Each one hums softly, and as he picks one up, the current nearest him slows slightly. "Maybe I need to place them in the right spots," he murmurs. Carefully, Max places the pebbles one by one around the edge of the pool. Each time he sets one down, the whirlpool slows a little more, until finally, the water is calm and still. Orbit nods approvingly. "Well done, young traveler. You may cross." Max steps carefully onto Orbit's back, and the turtle ferries him safely across the glowing pool. Max enters a dark, echoing cave filled with swirling stars and glowing time orbs suspended in midair. The walls of the cave shimmer and shift, showing glimpses of different times past, present, and future, twisting and turning like a living maze. A small, time-bending creature named Tempest flits down from a ledge above, Welcome to the space-time cave, he chirps. To pass through, you must use the time orbs to slow, speed up, or reverse time in the right order. Max looks around, watching as the paths before him shift and change. He carefully picks up a glowing blue orb and places it in front of a blocked path. Time slows, and the rocks that were falling in front of him freeze in midair, creating a safe path through. With Tempest's help, Max uses the orbs to navigate the ever-changing maze, freezing, speeding up, and even reversing time to create new paths. Finally, he reaches the end of the cave, where a shimmering portal waits. You did it! Tempest cheers. Time's on your side, Max. Max steps out of the cave and gasps. He's standing on the edge of a massive black hole, its swirling depths pulling at everything nearby. Stars and planets are stretched thin, being drawn into its dark core. The air hums with the force of gravity, and Max can feel its pull tugging at his feet. Tempest flits nervously beside him. You need to cross the black hole's edge to reach the final portal, but time moves strangely here. One wrong step, and you'll be pulled in. Max watches the swirling gravity fields, noticing how some areas speed up time while others slow it down. Using a time orb, Max carefully slows the gravity in front of him, creating a narrow, stable path. He steps forward cautiously, feeling the pull of the black hole lessening slightly. With each step, he adjusts the time orbs, making his way slowly across the treacherous ground. Finally, Max reaches the other side, breathing hard but smiling triumphantly. He turns to look back at the swirling black hole, feeling a rush of pride. I did it, he whispers, turning to face the final challenge, the portal puzzle. Max stands before a giant, shimmering portal surrounded by swirling star patterns. The portal glows softly, its surface reflecting the many worlds he's traveled through. But it's locked tight, and the only way to open it is to complete the final star puzzle. He steps closer, watching as the stars above rearrange themselves into a complex pattern. Connect the stars in the right order, a voice whispers softly. Max narrows his eyes, tracing the pattern carefully. It's a map of all the places he's been, the floating islands, the constellation forest, and more. One by one, Max connects the stars, each line glowing brightly as he completes the pattern. With each connection, the portal shimmers, and the world around him begins to tremble. He holds his breath as he draws the final line, completing the star map. The portal bursts into light, and a swirling vortex opens before him. Max takes a deep breath, then steps through, feeling the world twist and spin around him one last time. Max tumbles out of the portal and lands safely back in his bedroom. The early morning light streams through the window, casting a warm glow over his books and star charts. He looks around, breathing a sigh of relief. The magical telescope sits quietly on his desk, looking ordinary once more. Max smiles and gently pats it. Thanks for the adventure, he whispers, his heart still racing from all he's seen and done. He glances out the window at the morning sky, feeling a new sense of wonder and excitement. The stars might be gone for now, but Max knows that somewhere out there, a whole universe of adventures is waiting for him. With a content smile, Max settles back in his chair, already planning his next adventure. The telescope glows faintly, as if sharing his excitement. After all, the universe is a big place, and there's so much more to explore. True wisdom comes from patience, creativity, and never giving up, even when the path seems difficult. Thanks for watching, kids. If you enjoyed the adventure, make sure to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and click the bell icon to never miss a new story. See you next time.